Good morning, students. I hope all of you are fine today. So let's continue with the chapter which we have started earlier, that is conservation of plants and animals. Students, in our previous class we have learnt about the ecosystem, biodiversity, the loss of biodiversity, where we have read about the first reason and the main reason, which is deforestation. Now the second reason is the natural calamity, students. Natural calamities are those disasters which are caused by geological events. Okay, so these events are most destructive because it causes numerous disasters like earthquake, flood, hurricane, tsunami, etc. They are all responsible for destroying many houses of different species, and also they take different lives of the species, which results in the imbalance of the population of different species in our earth. Now the next reason is the climatic change. Students, as the air pollution is increasing day by day, so it is resulting in worldwide climatic change. Now as a result, it increases the global warming. So for this reason, the polar ice are melting and it increasing the sea level. So for that reason, plants and animals are not able to survive in this climatic change, and our atmosphere is depleting day by day. Now students, we need to conserve our forest and wildlife. So what are the methods we should take? First one is the reforestation. That means we have to plant as many number of trees as we can on a large scale. Number two, we need to protect the forest from forest fires. How? By spraying the extinguishing solution with the help of aircrafts. Number three, we need to protect our trees and plants from insects, pests, etc. Number four, we need to minimize the use of wood, timber as a firewood, and we need to search alternatives for using wood. Number five, students, we need, as there are excessive grazing going on, so we need to stop this thing. Okay, so the government should have to apply strict rules and laws for protection of forest. Okay, also students, we also have to take some initiatives for conserving our forest. Number six, we need to conserve paper and we need to avoid the usage of materials which is made from skins of animals. Number seven, students, there need to be strict rules and regulations applied by the government, and they need to ban the hunting of the species which are endangered nowadays. And last but not the least, we need to protect the flora and fauna and also the protected areas like biosphere reserves, national parks, sanctuaries that have been earmarked, students. Okay, now the next topic is the biosphere reserve. Students, biosphere is the only part of the earth in which the living organisms exist or it supports the life. So the concept of biosphere reserve evolved by UNESCO with the help of the program MAB, that is Man and Biosphere. Okay, so a biosphere reserve is meant to conserve the wildlife, the traditional life of the tribals in a large protected area. Okay, so as this area is made for wildlife, for the tribals, so these areas are divided into respective zones. Okay, so the first one is the innermost zone, which is known as the core zone, where no human activity are allowed. Okay, it is strictly devoted to protection of wildlife. The second one is the middle zone, which is called the buffer zone, in which there are only limited human activity is possible, such as research, education, environmental education, and tourism is allowed in this zone. And the last is the outermost zone, which is called the transition zone, in which non-destructive human activities such as settlements of houses for tribals and cultivation of crops, these all things are allowed. So students, biosphere reserve may contain some other protected areas. For example, Panchmari Biosphere Reserves consist of one national park, which is named as Satpura, and two wildlife sanctuaries, which is named as Bori and Panchmari. Students, it's a very important fact that there are 14 biosphere reserves in India, such as Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, which is in our state, that is West Bengal. Next is the Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve, which is in Andaman and Nicobar. Okay. Now students, what are the significance of biosphere reserves? First one, we need to conserve the diversity of biotic components, biotic communities, especially of plants and animal students. Secondly, we need to provide some ecological and environmental research, that is how to develop the forest and how to protect and how to conserve the plants and animals who are living in these areas. And number three, we need to maintain the lifestyle of the tribal people who are living in this area. Now students, the next part is the flora and fauna. Students, there are different types of plants, okay, which belongs to these area, and it comprises its flora, and all the animals who are residing in this area, they constitute as fauna. Okay, so flora is different types of plants who are living in different types of plants belonging to this area, and fauna means different types of animals living in this area. So students, biodiversity is very important for the sustenance of our ecosystem, okay, as it provides wide range of food materials for survival, and we need to prevent the extinction of species, and we also need to protect the animals and help the organisms to adapt to these changes. Now, sal trees, fern, jamun tree, teak are the flora of Panchmari Biosphere Reserves. Now, cheetal, wolf, leopard, wild dog are the fauna of Panchmari Biosphere Reserve, students. Now, the next topic is the endemic species. Now, as we know that species are distributed all over the world. Now, there are different types of species nowadays who live in a particular region or in a state or in a country. So, species of plants and animals who are found extensively in a particular region, they are called as endemic species. For example, pygmy hog and hulok gibbon are endemic to Assam. Golden langur are endemic to India. Plants like salud, wild mango are endemic flora of the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve, students, and bison, Indian giant squirrel and flying squirrel, they are the endemic flora, they are the endemic fauna of this area, students. Okay, students. So students, that's all for today. We will continue with this chapter in our next class. So thank you for today.